smell your socks. You hid movies from your folks, and your mom hid them from your grandma. And a lot of the time that we hang out, you record it with your camera. Always have the strength to forgive when I hit you in the eye. You eat Chinese ramen, nachos, fish, even pizza pie. Standing tall with curly hair, leather jacket wrapped. Oh look, here he comes, the Million Film Almanac. Bubbly, 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 bellissimo. Bubbly, 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 bellissimo. Bubbly, bellissimo. Bubbly, bellissimo.
The first thing you're probably noticing is costume change. Not that I, wear costumes. Get that in a moment. But first, here's the badge. Here's the lanyard. Do a close up of that. Yes, it says the Asylum and Sharknado 2 on there. That is the lanyard I use for I wear my geek on my sleeve, or in this case, around my neck. You can see this is the Nash hat from Pokemon. It was free. On Monday is when we went to the vendors hall. The building within is 4 floors altogether. First floor has nothing on it, and all the vendors are between the second, third, and fourth floors. We got there and we started actually on the 3rd floor and moved down. Just worked out that way. We went through the skywalk through the West End after I was dropping a few things off for the military sci-fi tech to give to a charity. Long story. And I'd like to shout out to Karen Smith-Hinson. Thank you very much. I couldn't find that booth with my life. Swear to you I tried. Anyway, back to the hat. We decided we were each going to do 1 floor at a time. We were all doing 3rd floor at one time. We all did the 2nd floor at one time. That kind of thing. When we were done with the floor, we would just come out the main entrance of the exhibit on that floor and off to the side of each entrance towards the tables and an area for people to sit, eat, rest their legs, whatever it is, So I'm done on the 3rd floor. I'm waiting for them. I say, hey, I'm done here. I'm where we said we'd meet. No rush. Right across the wall from me were 2 girls who got what I describe as grab boxes, which are basically boxes in the shape of iconic Nintendo things. One of the boxes was shaped like the bricks Mario breaks with his head that have coins, mushrooms, power-ups, that sort of thing. And one of them was shaped like a bullet bill, things like that. Somebody, and I'm uncertain if it is somebody they were with or if it's just some random person they saw, left some of the items in their Nintendo grab box. They didn't want them, didn't need them, whatever. One of the items was a Sin City Mars figurine that a lady took to give to her kid. I hope the kid's at least a teenager. And the other was this ash hat that's actually going to be Courtney's. I just thought you would want to see it, and I don't really wear hats. So I thought it'd be amusing for that. This, as you can see, has the Dragon Con logo right here, and is a long sleeve sort of pullover. It's very comfy. Atlanta in the morning and super late at night was kind of chilly. Rained Friday. Not too bad, dude. We never got soaked or anything. We did have umbrellas with us, so that's good. But rained Friday, so it was a little bit chilly then, and walking back Thursday night was kind of crazy and cold. And Friday morning was cold. I just couldn't. I don't do cold very well. Courtney bought this for me. If you guys can see the back there, it just says Dragon Con in big letters there. Well, I usually do non-movie items and then go into movie items. Some stuff I'm going to show all together, just to be able to do everything at once about that particular thing. Most days, the sky bridges and whatnot, connecting buildings, you know how this works. They call them the human habitat. Colloquially within the DC volunteer realm, which is not an inaccurate description. are so full that they're not useful. It's much quicker to go out the main doors on either side of the hotel and walk through the street to get where you need to go. Swear to God, much quicker every single time. Which is why, when leaving the Voltaire show, I was going down some flights of stairs, and I was like, I'm here, might as well see if anything, because I knew I'd be longer than Courtney or Elizabeth. And I'll get into why I know I was right about that in a moment. So, I'm just looking around first floor of the vendor's room after descending 2 flights. So second floor of the building overall. And a guy stops me and says, can he interest me in a story? And I say, you can sure try. So he tells me about a book he wrote about a living dungeon. And the dungeon needs to eat. So it eats the adventurers. But it needs to not be so bad that the adventurers stop coming, otherwise its food supply would end. After so many sessions of eating it, whatnot, it can level itself up, upgrade its chat, that sort of thing. And it's called The Slime Dungeon. It's written by Jeffrey Falcon Loeb, and it sounds hilarious. He did sign the inside for me, and he let me know if you don't see this Falcon here, because that's part of his signature, then it's not really him. It's a copy somebody's faking, just so everybody's aware. And it came with this 3D printed slime, so it's not jiggly or anything, but it's still really cool. So I thought that was awesome. It sounded really fun. It sounded like my kind of thing, and it came with slime. How can I not? And that literally happened. I turned after interacting with him, and he was a very fun fellow. And I see the Troma thing. I'm like, that's where I'm heading. So I noticed the big Troma sign going, hey, where's the Troma booth? Yada yada. I get there, and I brought Romeo and Juliet for him to sign. It says, to beautiful Bobby, Lloyd Kaufman. That is pretty cool. And I brought the Toxic Avenger collection on Blu-ray for him to sign. To beautiful Bobby, XO, Lloyd Kaufman. So that was really cool. And then, on my first trip there, I bought some things that I'm very excited about. One of my favorite Troma films is Class of Nukem High. It's brilliant. I've seen the freaking Class of Nukem High musical. I already own the first one on Blu-ray. I pre-ordered it. I never picked up the other two because they came out later. So I bought, and then he subsequently signed Class of Nukem High 2 Subhuman Meltdown. It says XOXO with love, Bobby. And he's making the monster say it. If you guys can't see, he's making the monster. So then Lloyd Kaufman there. And then I got Class of Nukem High 3, The Good, the Bad, and the Subhuman. And in this one, he's making this particular person say it, and it says Toxie loves Bobby. And then Lloyd Kaufman is signed right there. Let me make sure these are all close enough for you guys to see. And I got Return to Nukem High Volume 1. And it says, Toxie loves beautiful Bobby, XO, Lloyd Kaufman. And we're talking about Troma, talking about my favorite movies of Troma and that sort of thing. And Lloyd Kaufman's always been great with his fans and that sort of thing, from what I understand. He loves something that people like. He's a weird, crazy imagination. And he gives me 2 things for free, which was awesome. First one was this cup. It's the Toxic Avenger in his classic superhero pose. And this bumper school, I Heart Tromaville High, which I will be putting in my car very shortly. So then Monday, or actual day, I went there because during the panel representing Troma and Lloyd Kaufman that I saw, they brought up the movie BC Butcher, which this girl in Kansas wrote, 15, and she was there at the call, and she was at this panel. So was the star, Natasha, and they talked about the film, made it sound amazing. I go there, sold out of it, which made me a little bit sad. But they did still have Pro Wrestlers vs. Zombies on Blu-ray, which has Rowdy Roddy Piper. Lloyd wasn't there to sign it, sadly, but I needed that. And that was the last thing I got at the con. This was it. I got this, met up with Courtney and Elizabeth, and then we drove home. I did mention that Courtney got to go to the art room, and she's a little bit more into that than I am. But these are some of the things she picked up. This really pretty postcard. These postcards she got as a pack. And the first postcard and these packs that I showed you were all by Kelly McKernan. So if you guys like them, check her out. These are kind of Reed's postcards. Courtney wanted to put up some art in the kitchen, so we got this one. This was very playful and fun. It reminds me a little bit of like Spirited Away. And this one, which I'm in love with. You got one big print, which was only $10, by Amanda Todd. Isn't that awesome? Finally, for autographs, I did meet T.C. Douglas. The 2 movies for him I was going to bring got sliced off with. We didn't know how much I'd be spending on anything. But he was there. Nobody at his booth, so I got talking to him and mentioned how much I loved him in Death Race 2050, the latest Death Race movie. And he was super pleased that I knew him in that. And we started talking about other things. And I saw that he had a combo poster for Z Nation and Sharknado 2, which, as you saw, my Landy was Sharknado 2 earlier, so I showed that to him, and he got a big kick out of that. So I bought this, and he signed it for me. And it says, "To Bobby, swim faster, D.C. Douglas," during the actual kind of thing in this station. We started on the third floor, as I mentioned. In part because we were looking for something very specific. His name is David Cooper. He was part of the Streets of Fire panel, and he really helped turn around Elizabeth and Courtney's Saturday, because even though, as far as I remember, they didn't talk to him, they didn't interact with him or anything like that, he remembered them being at the panel, and they just had a bad experience waiting in line, and that person who was running that particular track was not very helpful or good, so they were very frustrated and annoyed. They went to go lodge a complaint to get all that taken care of, and they're leaving that area. I don't know where specifically they had to go for that. I was not part of it. And they turn a corner, and he's there, and he remembers them, and they talk to them like 5 or 10 minutes or however long. So that was awesome. And his book, which was in part inspired by Streets of Fire, sounded so awesome. We went to go look for it. Wasn't there. He had to leave early for some reason. I don't know why. But on that same floor, I saw somebody with this. I saw an artist named Brett Brooks with this SWAT Cats thing, and I love SWAT Cats. Then I get to talking to the dude, and he's really awesome, really nice, and he created a game called How to Kill a Spider, which sounds freaking awesome. This particular version of the game includes part, or at least all of one expansion pack. That's really cool. It's in How to Kill a Spider, you and your friends take on the role of roommates in an all-out spider-slaying competition while using an assortment of practical household weaponry. He described to me how to play. It sounded awesome. I liked the artwork, and I mean, how many people still do SWAT Cat stuff? That was really cool. And while talking to him, he brought up that he has this new series that's somewhat inspired by, in terms of artwork and whatnot, SWAT Cats called Deuces Wild. It's actually be a graphic novel coming out next year. This is a limited edition run of the first volume, Stars and Stripes Forever. And given my love of SWAT Cats and just this sort of sci-fi, generally speaking, I decided I had to pick that up as well. And that SWAT Cats thing I just showed you, along with this bookmark, were both free with a purchase. So I was doing 2 purchases, 2 free things like that. This is for his graphic novel, Dust Bunny, which sounded really good. I did not buy it because you gotta pick and choose. So that was things that interested me the most right off the bat. So I do plan on getting Dust Bunny sometime before. We ran into this artist named Cassie Hart Kelly, who had these really cool postcards. Got for free. So we purchased a few things. She's the colorist on this Storyteller Dragons comic. She signed it for me. And as you all know, I love Jim Henson. And one of my favorite Jim Henson things ever is the Storyteller with John Hurt. So we all got sad that he died. Cassie Kelly also had this little notebook-like thing, which is her printed up sketchbook that has all her fun, weird little drawings. I really like this. She did a little drawing right here for me. So that was a lot of fun. Then, of course, signed it, dated it, that sort of thing. That was really cool. We got talking to her about how the con was going for her, and that's what our favorite part of the con was, and what her favorite part of the con was. She has a young daughter, 3 or 4, I forget how old, and the person who plays Abby Cadabby is at the con. And Cassie got to meet her, and the person who plays Abby Cadabby left her a voicemail for the little girl in order to, make the little girl happy and stuff. And Cassie started crying and everything because it was so sweet and so awesome. But that's the level of gracious everything that is at the con for every celebrity I encountered. Everybody was awesome. Everybody was fun to talk to. It was fan-effing-tastic. Courtney and Elizabeth found the booth for Andrew Keith, and he had these postcards for sale. This particular one is his vintage retro postcard collection. If you can't tell, this is a Viewmaster. This is a little motorcycle with a sidecar, that kind of thing. Courtney really liked them and bought them. She also bought a game, because we do love our games in this house, Retro Lunacy, of which he is the artist for, and he signed it for her on the inside, which was really cool. From him, I bought his classic movie postcard collection, which has Back to the Future, Ghostbusters, Temple of Doom, one of the Star Wars films, I think it's the first one, I can't totally tell, RoboCop, and Batman. That's the Joker in the bottom corner there. He was a lot of fun to talk to. It is a convention. There are lots of comic booths. A lot of them are doing half off of their trades and whatnot, so we don't have to catalog things back. So I was really pleased. I found book 1 of Afterlife with Archie, which is Archie fighting zombies. And I've read some of it. I haven't finished it, so I'm excited to have it. It's as great as that sounds. My real big Bender purchases. They're real important stuff. The things that cost the most money were the Sharknado Funko. This is out of print. Really hard to come by for less than 40 or 50 bucks. I stopped at every Funko booth I could find. Now, mind you, that's not a booth hosted by Funko. That is just a booth carrying Funko Pops. Of which there were a ton. Looking through this. One place had it for 26 bucks. Lowest price I've seen it since it originally came out. For those who've been following my channel for a while, I did already own this. It fell and broke. Trying to find another one for a decent price was impossible. So $26 is actually only a little bit more than what it initially cost. Because if you guys don't remember when Funkos first started coming out, they weren't about 10. They were usually running about 15. So I'm okay with 26. And at that exact same booth, they had a pop I've been looking for. They had 2 pops I've been looking for forever besides Sharknado. One was still actually a very reasonable price, given how much it goes for online, out of my price range. The other one was such a reasonable price, I did buy it. The one I didn't buy was from the Book of Life, La Morta. She was $120. I've seen her go for upwards of $500. So that's actually a really solid price for her. I just couldn't afford it. But Jabulba goes for the lowest I've seen before at $60. He was $35. And I love that movie. That movie's amazing and delightful. So I really wanted a pop to be able to represent that, because I do love the pop as well. So now I have him. I wish I got the name of that particular booth so I could send business that way, because They had some really good, hard to find stuff for very reasonable prices. That was awesome. MC Chris was there. He performed on Saturday night. I was going to go to it, as I mentioned, but I did the Lloyd Kaufman thing instead, which I do feel was worth it, because I've seen him perform before. I feel a little bit bad, but I did buy 2 of his CDs at his booth. MC Chris is Dead, which I didn't own, despite it having Crazy Ninja on it. I didn't own it until now. And Race Wars, which I listened to on the shower this morning and was awesome. Finally, for the last things I got from a vendor specific, I'll get into the other things I bought that I won't say are vendor specific. You'll understand why in a moment. I got this Japanese giant rat monster movie. Literally, it's a giant rat that I've been looking for a while for only $10. Better price than I've seen it online. This booth had amazing prices. Nazula! Again, it's Nazula, the rat monster. It's something about a giant rat terrorizing people in Tokyo, I believe it is. Of course I'm going to own this. I can't wait. The other movie I got from that exact same booth came out the Tuesday before the con started. So the fact that they even had it is very impressive. I've been looking for this for a very long time. It's just now getting an official Region 1 release on DVD. It's Sanrio's stop-motion Nutcracker movie called The Nutcracker Fantasy. I've seen this on TV when I was living in Korea, around Christmas time, of course. So I'm so excited to own this and get to rewatch this. And Sanrio, mostly known for Hello Kitty, they've done some really amazing work outside of that, like Sea Prince of Firechild and things like that. So yeah, I cannot wait. Maybe I'll review this. I don't know. We'll see. And the other thing I picked up is from the production company Bandit Motion Pictures. They did Dear God No and Frankenstein Created Bikers. Both movies I already own, which was really cool. And they had 2 other movies I'd not heard of from them before. One called Plankhead, which is a hardcore horror movie about cannibals. That was pretty interesting. And the other was the movie I did buy called Space Babes from Outer Space. And one of the quotes, one of the review quotes is stating that John Waters was proud. So they instantly sold me there. With a purchase at the Bandit Motion Pictures booth, you get 2 posters. And I haven't seen them yet. So this is my, I don't know what posters I got. Let's find out. Oh, hey, look at that. It's Frankenstein Created Bikers. I just mentioned that movie. That movie's really good, and it'll be getting a review soon. The other one, oh, sweet. The other one is for Space Base. So if I really like it, now I have a poster for that. That's really exciting. You heard me mention that Chris Gore signed my book. Bobby, never quit being a film nerd. Chris Gore. And then he invited me out for drinks, as I stated. So now we're on to the things I got signed. We're going to start with the Mystery Science Theater people, Bill Corbett, Chris Ballou, Frank Connick. My first expedition around the Walk of Fame, Bill Corbett wasn't there, Chris Ballou. So I had them sign things for me, and this will be fun. So Courtney wasn't there with me. She didn't go into the Walk of Fame at all very well. Elizabeth did once or twice, but her stuff were author autograph sessions that she really wanted to do, and those were in a separate place, same hotel, just different floor, different area. So some of these things, especially for specifically for the riffing people, I got addressed to Courtney because she loves them so much. That's one of the first things we bonded over when we started dating. So I got Cinematic Titanic addressed to her. Right here is Frank's, and then this bottom one is Trace's. This is like a 6 to 8 minute music video that Trace wrote that has Frank Connick and Bill Corbett in it. And this one's addressed to me. It's so weird and so funny. So yeah, that's the Frank. When we did the Q&A, that's the question I asked. That was the Frank, and they seemed startled that anybody knew it. That was kind of amusing. Then we have an actual set of Mystery Science Theater. This is 23 specifically. and it's addressed to Courtney, Bill Corbett, Frank Conniff. So Bill Corbett, Frank Conniff, and over here is Trace. The first two books I'm going to show you were I brought with me to get signed there. It should be noted that Trace did not charge me to sign the Frank since I already had the DVD. I brought it with me for him to sign. So it was not charged for that. It was awesome. And I'll get into Frank's thing in a bit. But this, I'm super excited to have. Superpowered Revenge Christmas is a graphic novel about, well, it's very complicated, but Bill Corbett wrote it. And hey, Bobby, great to meet you, Bill Corbett. So that's really cool. I love with Christmas things, you know, Santa's Sleigh. You've heard me rage on about how amazing that is. So this fits right in with that mold. If you like Santa's Sleigh, pick up Super Revenge Powered Christmas. So Trace didn't charge me for Frank, they already had it. And Frank Conniff didn't charge me for $25. This is signed the 3000 movies that changed my life in no way whatsoever because I already had it. So it says, thanks, Bobby, right there on the inside. And it was so cool and so fun. I then bought Frank's new book called Cats vs. Conniff, which is the chronicle of the historic lawsuit brought against Frank Conniff by his cats, Millie and Barney. And this looks awesome. And of course, he signed that. And Chase Ballou has written a book called Silly Rhymes for Belligerent Children, which got brought up during the Q&A. It sounds amazing, so I'm glad he has a copy for sale. I haven't read this. I have no idea what to expect. And of course, this one is signed to both Courtney and I. That was really cool. And that's the story of me meeting the Mads and Bill Corbett, and they were all very nice, very fun. So now, we're on to things I brought to sign. First, we're starting off with Christopher Judge. Here's the photo of me and him that I got. I'm a Stargate fan, everybody knows this. I brought one of the movies I wanted to show, Arc of Truth, for him to sign, in part because he's on the cover. And then I brought a movie starring he and Kevin Sorbo. A review of it will be up very soon. It's already edited and done. I just need to hit release, basically. It's called Paradox, based on a graphic novel miniseries. And the movie was written and directed by the person who created the miniseries. And it's spectacular and amazing. Here's that. Up in this corner is his signature. And he hasn't seen it. He was amazed somebody brought it for him to sign. So he wrote Bobby, comma, wow, exclamation point, exclamation point, exclamation point, Christopher Judge. Because he's shocked when he had this movie signed. Which leads me directly into Kevin Sorbo. I love this picture. It's so goofy. He's like, who is this dude? Just standing next to me. It's a really funny photo, if you ask me. And, of course, Natasha George and Kevin Sorbo. So I brought both of them to sign. Kevin Sorbo signed down here. It says, to Bobby, all my best, Kevin Sorbo. And he also has not seen it. He was flabbergasted. Both of them were flabbergasted that I had this movie and I loved it so much because neither one of them had even seen the film. It was really interesting trying to describe a movie that they starred in to them because they haven't seen it. That was interesting. Of course, he's known for Hercules and Andromeda and stuff. I have a soft spot for those sorts of Conan Barbarian type things like Hercules. He was in a movie like that called Cole the Conqueror on Blu-ray. I brought this. He had movies for sale at his booth. One was called Julia. He was the only person with movies at his booth for people to buy and for him to sign. So he had this one, but I brought my own copy because I love this movie to death. To Bobby, stay strong, Kevin Sorbo. Charisma Carpenter was there. Charisma Carpenter has starred in Angel, Buffy, maybe some other TV shows I'm just not aware of, and a slew of movies that I really like on Sci-Fi Channel, like House of Bones, and the Asylum movie, Bound, which is their 50 Shades knockoff, as it's to Bobby, Hart, Charisma Carpenter. That's really cool. I'm glad she signed that. She was very pleasant and sweet. Of course, I mentioned the Chiodo brothers being there, as I discussed the panel. And I brought Killer Clowns for them to sign, because, fuck, yes, Killer Clowns is remarkable. Killer Clowns is everything every B movie should strive to be: creative, energetic, engaging, awesome logos, special effects that suit what they need. It is remarkable. As you heard me mention, I love the Critters films, so my 4-pack got signed by all of them. And this is the story I promised you guys with the Chiodo brothers. They made a movie. Specifically, they did the special effects of the film. They did not write or direct it like they have with Killer Clowns and that sort of thing. So bear that in mind. But they were the lead special effects team on the film. The movie was written and directed by David and Scott Hillenbrand. Okay? They did... Sorry, I just noticed when they put this back in, it's upside down. Whoops. So, again, much like we were talking about with Kevin Sorbo and Christopher Judge and all these people talking to me about these various things, the Chiodo brothers talked to me for like 10 minutes about this movie. Pinata Survival Island, which they were hired to do the monster work. They created a monster, did a maquette, and all that jazz. And then the studio selling it around, and a company in Germany was interested in putting up more funding to finish it off and then distribute it. And they demanded that the monster be CGI. So that German company put up more money for the production house to produce the film to CGI over the already inserted puppetry and animatronics of the monster, which is just so weird. The CGI in the movie is not that good. It wasn't that good when the movie came out. I do think the movie's a lot of fun, though. It's silly, goofy, it's cheesy as hell, but it's fun. It does star Nicholas Brendan of Buffy fame, and Jimmy Presley, who I'm pretty certain everybody knows. And they regaled me the story of how they found out this is Jimmy Presley's least favorite movie she's ever worked on. Which, A, is incorrect. I've seen Absolution, okay, Jimmy Presley? This movie's not worse than that boring piece of shit. She was on Lino, and whatever project she was promoting, and then discussing things she had just previously finished doing, and she mentioned this as just the worst thing ever. So there's that amusing anecdote. Then I met James Callis, who you might not recognize with that crazy beard here, as Merlin in the Sci-Fi Channel movie Merlin and the Book of Beasts. The reason you don't see his signature there, he signed the inside here. And he was very bemused that I brought him this ridiculous movie. And we had a nice conversation about Sci-Fi Channel, about what they're trying to do with their B movies, and that sort of thing. And he was a real good sport about it. Super intelligent. Dear God. He might be the smartest man in any room he's in. It's ridiculous how smart James Callis is. He wrote, Dear Bobby, what happens at Dragon Con stays at Dragon Con. Parentheses, thank God. Great to meet you. All the best, James Callis. And that was a lot of fun for me. I enjoy when I get to show these actors, as you heard me mention, some of the weirder B movies. And this brings me directly to Jules Tay, who was there. She's been in a slew of B movies for the Sci-Fi Channel, like Doomsday Prophecy and After the Dusk and that sort of thing. I chose to bring the most interesting one, in my opinion, and that is Mothman. And it says, to Bobby, lots of love, hearts, Jules Tay. Super nice, super awesome, and she had the most calm reaction to me bringing one of these weird B movies to her, which was really fun. She says, oh yeah, this is something I'm in. I'm glad you liked it, and just signed away, and was very sweet and very fun. And that was awesome. It was really cool to see somebody like, yeah, I own this shit, I was in it, and let's, and so that was awesome. So I have that. But of course now, we're getting to the big time. And by the big time, I mean the reason I was so excited to go to this con, and that's the cast of Starship Troopers. Catherine and Dean, my friend Elizabeth, myself, Dina Meyer, Patrick Muldoon. And this is a photo off that we got with them, and those are the 3 people I got those real expensive professional photos with. That was really cool. I'm really glad to have this. That leads me into the things I got with them, of course. So, I got to meet Catherine and Dean the year I turned 30 at Crystal Coast Con, which was in October, because we celebrated that entire month for my birthday. My wife was exhausted by the end of it, and I appreciate her putting up with my birthday shenanigans so much. So he already signed Starship Troopers for me. So just Patrick Muldoon and Dina Meyer did. Patrick Muldoon I did first, and his signature is right here. Hers is this corner. Yeah, that's it. Sorry, with it further away like that, I can't totally see my view screen here. I had to find that. So he signed that, was really pleased. And then I bust out this other film, which is, of course, the movie I reviewed for my Dragon Con Countdown with him, and that's Project Viper. And he gets a big grin on his face and goes, "What? You're bringing me? How are you bringing me this movie?" But like in a very good nature, like fun way. He's pleased that happened. And then we talk about this movie for a little bit and how I find it very creative. The monster was really original, and he's a solid, fun leading man and that sort of thing. And what he thinks of the movies, he really loves them. He grew up watching those silly creature features and whatnot. So that was really cool. And I brought up Ice Spiders because I almost wrote Ice Spiders. You know, I'm between Project Viper or Ice Spiders, and I mentioned Ice Spiders was my favorite performance of his. I haven't seen all his movies, but of everything I've seen, it is my favorite performance of his. I think he's amazing in it. And we get to discussing that, and he's so sweet, he's so nice, that he then gives me this and signs it for me for free because he could. He didn't have to. There's nothing about anything about our interactions that says he has to do that. But he totally does. And it was awesome. It says, "To Bobby, kill bugs!" Patrick Muldoon, and then his name underneath, his character's name. That was so awesome of him. And this is the sort of thing, I mean, this happened before the Q&A, the day before the Q&A even happened. But he didn't need to do that. I'm just saying, he's a big name, but he was so cool, so awesome. Speaking of cool and awesome, Dina Meyer starring Starship Troopers, as you already saw. And of course, 2 of my favorite movies of all time, Starship Troopers and Dragonheart. She's also in Dragonheart. So she signs that for me, and it says Heart, Dina Meyer, and then character name of Kara. And as I mentioned, she was in this movie called The Evil Within, which was 15 years in the making, finally got released this year, earlier this year, finally got released. Is an amazing film to watch. Visual release spectacular, very intense, pitch perfect acting, every new kind of movie they were in, making, and it's stunning to watch. And so she signed The Evil Within for me as well. And then, of course, Casper Van Dien was there, my favorite actor of all time, and I brought him Star Raiders to sign, which is a film that came out earlier this year, and we got to talking about the writer and director, Mark Steven Grove, who's an awesome person. So he's really happy somebody had that for him to sign, and that was a really cool conversation to have about him, about working with Mark Steven Grove and that sort of thing. And it says, "Bobby, kill bugs, Casper Van Dien." And I debated, because I really tried to keep things down to a minimum. For most people, I only wanted a few things for each people to sign. Some of the Mystery Science Theater stuff and the Mads and Riff Shack stuff, I bought at their table, so they signed that, so not 100% counting those things. But I really tried to only limit it 2 per person. A lot of people have a much larger stack of things I did not bring with me to get signed by people. So I had to really fish down, because including all the vendor stuff that I bought and that sort of thing, I spent over $1,000 at this con. That does include dinner. It includes my MARTA tickets and that sort of thing. But still, that does not include the money I owe Courtney for the room or anything like that. So I debated a lot about what to have him sign. And it started with one of my favorite movies by him. That's, B movie, but it's so original and intense and fun that there's some other films in there that I would have liked, but this one's one of my personal favorites, which is how I came down to it. Picking and choosing, given that I own 95% of his mugs, it's very difficult. And that is Thrill Seekers. And it says, Bobby, stay cool. Casper Van Dien. To all, I did have that photo up. His fiance, her name is Jennifer. You probably know her from Superpower Beatdown, as she plays Wonder Woman on that show. Was there at the Tangler, and they recently got engaged. That sort of thing. So I did pay the $10, $20. I forget how much it was for a selfie with him, to get a selfie with him and his fiance. Talking to her was really fun. I found out how they got to know each other, how they met, what the engagement was like, which was really awesome and sweet. She didn't have to tell me all these stories. Thank you so much for watching this very long, very exhaustively detailed nerd show and tell. I'm your host, Bobby Lapierre, and I'll see you next week.